Do you want to just try it one more time? Okay.
Sure.
1, 2, ready, go.
This is Champagne is Also a Band podcast. One songwriter, one song. I'm Sven, your host for a journey into the music of Champaign-Urbana. Recorded in the Blue Box studio with a songwriter from the Champaign-Urbana music scene, past or present. Champagne is Also a Band podcast is a member of the Champagne Showers Podcast Network. Welcome to Champagne is Also a Band podcast. Today, I have Taylor Loveall and Sarah Cramer from the band Maps of the Midwest. You may know Taylor from such bands as Bright Blue Mourning, which no longer exists, and Taylor Loveall as his solo work. You may know Sarah from such bands as Duke of Yuke, Novelty Orchestra, Relevator, and Sleeping Okami. But also, they're both part of the band Maps of the Midwest. Sarah and Taylor, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So today, we're going to be talking about your song, Painted Trains. You just recorded that in the studio, so I'm really excited to be debuting this version of the song. And I think without much further ado, let's listen to the song.
Fast and leave behind everything. There's dead-end jobs, there's dead-end dirty streets. It's all in the rear view now, behind you and keys and letters, stubs from our last checks. We'll turn up the radio and listen, nooses around our necks. We're speeding up and try to keep it in between the lines. Well, tell me if you see the exit, taking it this time. You say, maybe we can make it this time. I know we're gonna make it this time. Remember everything we said and be. Show them all it's you. make it this time. I know we're gonna make it this time. Remember everything we said we'd be.
Welcome back. So, I guess, Taylor, you're the lyricist, you could say, of this song. The question with how this song was formed, and which is always my favorite first question, is, did the lyrics or the chords come first?
I started with the lyrics, but I had a totally different structure with the chords when I first started it. But I abandoned that structure and started a new one.
How did that original structure come about, and what was it about that needed to be changed, or it just didn't feel right?
Yeah, it just didn't feel right. I think it was a little too simple the first time around.
Wasn't it a different key, too?
Yeah, and I'm even talking about like way before then.
Oh, yeah.
So it's had many incarnations.
As you formed the song, and then, so after you wrote this song and put it together, or at least the skeleton of the song, and then you brought Sarah on board. Sarah, how did you form your part with the piano coming in? And
oh, sure,
you had some really lovely parts in there where that you wrote in with the song.
Well, I start with learning the chord changes that he's playing and figuring that out, and then kind of just do what I hear and I think the song needs, kind of build it with him and write my part that way.
We were talking earlier before we started recording that you had just recently picked up the keyboard.
Yeah, it's been like 2 or 3 years. I started learning it when I started writing this musical with Dave King and the Duke of Yuke and his Novelty Orchestra. With writing that musical is when I learned how to play piano. I learned the chord changes, and then once I learned how to play all the chords on the piano, then I felt a lot more confident on the piano, and like I feel like I can play now.
What was the name of this musical? Has it been...
Oh, it's called Alice.
Excellent.
It's about Alice in Wonderland.
Taylor, what was the first line that you started writing on this song? Lyric-wise, sorry.
Yeah, lyric-wise, it was the first verse. These pistons give life to this machine. I had that first. The very first time I started writing it, I had completely different lyrics after that. It didn't seem personal enough, so I scrapped that and just kept that first verse. Kind of started fresh from there.
So does that mean when you were originally writing it and it wasn't personal enough, you were kind of stepping outside of yourself and creating kind of a different world, or did you just feel it wasn't honest enough?
I'd say a little bit of both, really. Mainly just not as honest, I'd say.
The term painted trains, I'm not sure I'm familiar with painted trains in general, or is that actually a thing, or is that like a mental picture for you?
It's a mental picture for me. I live in Decatur, Illinois, and there's just a lot of trains over there. I guess painted trains is mainly, trains that have been tagged and graffitied with the paint on there. So I think growing up in Decatur, seeing the trains go by, you kind of see it as a way to escape.
The trains themselves are representative of this being able to come out and even in a sense being able to escape, but yet if you need to, you can return.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have a favorite line in the song?
I'd say the whole last verse. These pistons give life to this machine, to broken hearts and life to broken dreams. Like dreams of car wrecks, dreams of freedom.
Were there things that you were dreaming about particularly that brought that about?
No, I'd say more in the metaphorical sense. Kind of dreams of car wrecks is your doubts and fears, and then dreams of freedom is just wanting something better.
Maps of the Midwest is a pretty new, what's the word, venture, a band, a duo, Well, do you have plans on expanding, or just you two?
If we came across a good drummer, we would definitely take that.
Yeah.
All the good drummers are taken.
They're all taken.
I have to say.
All of them are
Which
taken.
is so... man, if I had any sense at all, I would have taken up drumming. But then again, I don't know if my parents would have been able to handle that.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
yeah.
it's a lot of noise in the house. Taylor, you had written the words earlier, and there was a version that you put out as yourself as solo.
Yeah.
And I was just curious what brought about this additional, and there's something burning bright where the headlights and the stars collide. What compelled you to add that other verse with the formation of this new band?
It was during one time when me and Sarah were just playing it, and I kind of felt like it was a lot of empty space there. I just thought it'd be cool to add some words in that spot.
Sarah, I was trying to observe what you were doing with the piano. With your addition of the keyboard, how do you think about the piano's role in this song in particular?
That's a good question. I don't know. I start with the chord changes. One really important thing is to kind of feel Taylor and what his vibe is during certain parts, and like where. So I like to feel the song and figure out where it's going to get big and where we need to break it down. And in this one, like the verses are very chill, so I like to have something very minimal there with maybe just a little frill in the high end. We get bigger on like the bridge and the chorus and those parts.
I also noticed that you're doing some of those embellishments also while he's playing the harmonica.
Yeah.
Which the embellishments that you're doing, I'm just curious, even from just a songwriting perspective.
Sure.
Since the frequencies that the harmonica is producing, those are kind of in the upper range, and you're also doing some notes during that time, the embellishments. So I'm also wondering the kind of coordination of trying to not step on each other's toes. Is that a fair assessment? I mean, I'm curious if that...
Definitely.
In a complete turnaround of my question, I'm kind of curious if that was something you were consciously thinking about, or like it just happened and it felt right.
I think it just happened and it felt right. That part is a little bit of an improv part. Where we just kind of jam on it. I mean, we have like a loose formula that we go with. On this one, the harmonica starts heavy, and then he goes into like long notes, and then I kind of do a little bit more embellishing on the longer notes. So I kind of try to feel what he's doing and really listen and see where I can fit in to fill the rest of the space.
You're predominantly a bassist.
Yes.
So now you get to fill the role of not only the rhythm and then the tonal lower section, but you also get to fill in the chords.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah. Taylor didn't write a bass line, so you're filling in with a bass line that
I think I naturally do that,
because in some ways when you're developing like a bass line, it doesn't necessarily have to be like exactly chunking with the chords, so to with the chords that he's playing.
I try to listen because his guitar parts have a lot of like little hidden melodies in them, so I try to listen to those and figure out where to leave space or even try to add a layer of that melody. So that's one of my steps too that I kind of start with.
Taylor, what I'm curious is, are you being pretty literal, figurative, should I say, about the turn up the radio and loosen the nooses around our necks? Did you have an office job perhaps where you wore a tie? Because that's where my head went.
Actually no, I didn't even think of that. Just another metaphor for letting go of things, kind of being free.
Sarah, do you have a favorite lyric in this piece?
I think the first line always stuck out to me.
So what do you think the pistons are?
I picture like a big like factory machine or something, or like, and then the pistons are like part of the machine basically.
Gotcha.
Like a very mechanical image.
How did you make this into more of a personal piece? What made it feel more honest to you and personal?
The very first version was more of like a fictional story in a sense. I wanted this one to be more, I guess, autobiographical a little bit. I got the idea of the song just kind of looking back, like when me and my wife first got together and we were living in an apartment and didn't have a lot of money and just kind of feeling stuck. Didn't want to stay in that kind of life. Just wanted more. And also the first song I did, it was really more just really depressing kind of, and I didn't really want to do that. I wanted to kind of throw in that part of hope. Yeah, that hope in there. So
So now that makes some sense to me when I read the line throughout the keys and letters and the stubs from our last checks, like kind of like saying, in my interpretation, it's like, let's just kind of forget about that for now and just hope that it's going to be a better day tomorrow kind of.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I've never spent any more time on a song than this one. I spent a lot of time on this song. I just have the most gratification with this song because it's taken me so long to kind of build it and tear it down and start again. And I finally feel like it's finally finished, and it's what I wanted it to be the whole time. So
isn't that kind of what the song's all about too?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, really. Yeah, I didn't even think of that, but yeah.
So with the chords, did you? And I noticed that you had it up on the second fret, the capo.
Yeah.
Is that how you said that it changed keys a few times? How many key changes has it been? Not just during the song, but yeah.
Yeah. Like the very first version that I started out with, I couldn't even tell you what chords I was using in that. It was so long ago. But like the solo version, where it was just me on my Bandcamp page, that was up on the third fret. Yeah, after me and Sarah started playing it, I dropped it down to the key of D.
I think it was because of your voice, though, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, for some reason, I just couldn't really. It felt way more comfortable when I dropped it down to the second fret.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, I'm gonna stick with this.
So how long have you been writing music?
I think my first song I wrote was like way back when I was probably like, I don't know, 10. But yeah, really off and on, I've been playing guitar and writing songs since I was probably about 12.
So guitar has been your primary instrument?
Yeah, it has.
Beginning?
Yeah.
Nice. Sarah, how long have you been playing music?
I got my first bass when I was like 15 or 16, and I've been playing bass ever since.
And so now you play bass, keyboard, and anything else?
Not really. I sing a little bit here and there, but
yeah, mostly
just bass and keys.
How long have you been writing music?
I have always been in like an original band. I've been a co-writer. I started my first band when I was like 16 or 17. I started jamming with Dave King, and I'm still in that group. I still play with Dave all the time.
As the Duke of
He's
Yuke.
the Duke of Yuke,
yeah.
Yep.
Was it called Duke of Yuke at that time, or?
Ever since I've known him, he's been called the Duke of Yuke. And then when we got that band together, then we became the Duke of Yuke and his Novelty Orchestra.
Were you in Dollypop too?
Oh yeah, I was. Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I was.
I thought so, because that's also his work as well.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yep. He was the songwriter for Dollypop.
That was not on the list.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm teasing.
There's one more that wasn't on the list.
Uh-oh. Is it not good? Or, not one that we should share?
No, I just wasn't in that project very long, so I never really identified with it too much.
Fair enough. I was in a band briefly for one afternoon, and then I left. Well, let's go back to that improvisation. If you are changing parts within the song as you perform them, I'm curious more about how you think of improvisation. Is it something that you just feel out and then kind of have an emotional feel to it, or do you think about like the chords and be like, these are notes that go well with this chord or whatever? I'm just curious.
I do. I think about both of those things. You want to stay in the key, but you also want to like feel out. So I don't know. I'll do like runs and stuff up if it's feeling more energetic, but you do want to stay in key. You don't want to hit wrong notes. So I definitely think about both those things.
Taylor, you improvise when you play on the harmonica. Is there a sense of that, or just feeling it out?
Really just feeling it out. Yeah, it could change. Yeah, we could play the song 3 times and it could be a little different each time.
Gotcha. And that's why we only played it twice.
That's right.
Perfect. We recorded it twice. Champagne is Also a Band podcast is proud to support Exile on Main Street. Exile on Main Street, located in the old train station building at 100 North Chestnut Street in downtown Champaign, has been helping to build record collections since 2004. Carrying a wide array of new and used LPs, CDs, and video games. Exile on Main Street has something for just about any music enthusiast and old-school gaming devotee. Exile also hosts regular free live music shows on its stage, so be sure to check out their Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages for the up-to-date details on the next upcoming event. Open 7 days a week. They can be reached by phone at 217-398-MAIN. That's 217-398-6246. Sarah, what's your favorite Champaign-Urbana venue?
Ooh, man, there's been so many changes. Well, I do love the Rose Bowl. The Rose Bowl sounds great. I do love the Loose Cobra, too. I guess there's bigger venues, too. There's, like, the Canopy Club is great. And then City Center, I went to a show there recently, and that place is really cool. It's got a good setup. And the Coverup is there, which we're playing soon, so that'll be fun.
And by we, you mean Relevator, right?
Relevator, yeah.
Yeah, and you're not going to tell us who... No, I know.
Can't.
I know that's the big guarded secret.
Yes.
Yes. Somewhere there is someone who has a little suitcase with it handcuffed to their arm. And all the names and bands.
You have to come.
I know, exactly. And this is like the second or third year that it's been at the City Center. Taylor, what's your favorite Champaign-Urbana venue?
Yeah, I'd have to say probably the Loose Cobra, which is where we got our start, kind of.
Oh.
So...
Well, I guess that's a good roll in.
Yeah.
Good for the lead on there. Yeah, so I guess you could say that is where Maps of the Midwest kind of came into being.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
Yeah, let's just kind of dive right into that. How did that come about?
Me and Doug used to work together for a heating and air company. I worked in the one in Decatur. He worked in one in Champaign, and we got to know each other through that. That was years back, and then we kind of reconnected, and I remember I was going over to hang out with him, and he said that there was the Snake Pit was going on that day, so I had some songs. I was not ready to do that at all, but I was like, I'll just give it a shot and see how it goes, and
it was great.
Yeah, thanks. And everybody was like just so nice and welcoming, and it just felt really good, and just made me want to come back and keep doing it. And,
yeah, and I've been going to the Snake Pit recently too, and then we started jamming basically.
Yeah.
So there was a song that were you playing, Taylor, and then Sarah joined you, or was Sarah playing something? I don't think I was there for that moment.
I don't know.
I know Doug jammed with me when I first went, and then there was a time where I think both you and Doug.
Oh, yeah, both of us were playing, and then Doug got really busy, and then I just started playing with you.
Yeah.
Then we started taking it more seriously.
Yeah.
And then you said, this is something good here, and got to turn it into a band.
Yeah, I think so.
Decided to start a band.
How many songs do you have in your repertoire?
For originals, maybe, I don't know. We say like 8.
Yeah.
8, maybe?
Mm-hmm. Maybe 8 to 10.
Yeah, I'd say
so
that.
You've got a full set, is what I was trying to get at.
Yeah,
so.
we do.
Yeah.
So at some point, you're going to be playing somewhere, get a gig somewhere.
Yeah.
And
then, for sure.
Is there anything on the books yet, or
nothing on the books yet?
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna wait until after December. Start in January, and
yeah,
we are recording.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yep, we are going to record.
Yeah.
Excellent.
A little EP. Then we'll have to ask some of our friends to play shows with us. Get on a bill.
Yeah,
that's right. Since you have a favorite venue, but is there a favorite show that you've been to? I guess either one of you could start, but is there a favorite show that you've been to in the local CU area? It can be local people, or it could be visiting artists that you've gone to in recent history that you were just like, that was a great show.
I've been to some great shows lately. Pygmalion had some really good shows. They were at the Rose Bowl, and there was just a lot of different variety, like people from all over the place. I love the Coverup. That's probably my favorite Champaign tradition, where all the local bands cover a famous band. And it's usually a pretty crowded show. It's really fun. Everybody dresses up, and there's a lot of mystery because, like, nobody can talk about who they're playing. That's probably my favorite show, or favorite tradition.
Was there a favorite cover that a band that was covered? Or is that too big of a question? There's
so many good ones. One that sticks out to me recently that I watched a video of with my girlfriends was Ryan Groff doing Whitney Houston.
Yes.
That was amazing. Amazing. Killed it. Completely killed it.
Yes.
Have you seen the video where Mike Ingram
I was
walks
there.
her? Oh, you were there. Oh, you're even luckier.
Yeah.
I wasn't there, but I saw the videos and I loved it.
Oh.
But things like that are just so cool.
That was like the utmost like diva moment. The whole thing just felt so,
it was so good.
Whitney Houston. And anyway, if you know where that video is, I'll try to post that, link that in the notes,
it's so good.
that people can find that, because that was definitely a highlight.
It's an amazing vocal performance. I mean, he killed it.
Yeah, I mean, there's not very many people that can fit that vocal range at all. So it's incredible. Taylor, do you have a favorite show that you've been to recently that...
I'm going to say, probably the one at the Iron Post with Dave Pride was opening, and then Rebecca Summers' band.
That was
They
fun.
both were just awesome. They were amazing. So that's probably my favorite one right now.
Sarah, you mentioned earlier that the scene has changed so much.
The venues have really changed. Like when I started, I played a lot at the Iron Post. I felt like that was like the main place that I played. I don't play there as often. Now I really like the Rose Bowl though, and we never played at the Rose Bowl back in the day.
Right. Yeah. No, they have certainly picked up the number of shows that are going on.
Yeah.
And feels like, I don't know if it is true, but it does feel like there's something going on at the Rose Bowl every single night of the week, you know. But the change in ownership has been really surprising and fun. Just really dug that.
Yeah.
You know?
It's been awesome. And I miss like the Cowboy Monkey and the downtown Champaign scene a little bit, but it's still fun. I mean, now there's more opportunities. There's like podcasts and stuff, and videos I feel like are more popular for musicians to get noticed and stuff like that. So it's not all bad.
Right. Well,
the times are changing.
Taylor, what's your experience with the Champaign-Urbana music scene, and has it like changed? Or
I mean, really, I'm like a total newcomer to that, so just kind of did stuff in Decatur when I was younger. So I'm kind of new to it. So
is there anything that particularly struck you about the Champaign-Urbana music scene, like as a newcomer? Like,
I mean, I think the biggest thing is how much variety there is. So many different styles and types of bands. I mean,
that's true.
You know, you got like country, you're more folk rock, you're noise rock, it's really varied.
Yeah.
Which keeps it fun and interesting, I think.
I feel really lucky to have grown up in this scene just because it has the U of I, so there's so many talented musicians that flow through the U of I, like horn players, string players, and sometimes they'll join bands, and like it makes for such a talented, unique scene, in my opinion. It's just been a blast to be a part of it.
Champaign is Also a Band podcast is proud to support Jubilee Cafe. Jubilee Cafe is a free weekly meal program at Community United Church of Christ, 805 South 6th Street in Champaign, Illinois. Jubilee Cafe serves a home-cooked meal from 5 to 6:30 each Monday. Their mission is to feed hungry people by cooking healthy, delicious meals and by serving their guests restaurant-style with servers waiting on tables. Jubilee Cafe is open to anyone who cares to eat with them. Because food insecurity among students is so high, they serve students as well as others in and around the Champaign-Urbana community who struggle with hunger. Meals are free to all and will be served each Monday evening, located in the accessible lower level of the building at 6th and Daniel Streets in Champaign. For more information on the meal or how to volunteer, go to the Jubilee Cafe CUCC Facebook page or email them at jubilee.cafe@community-ucc.org. That's jubilee.cafe@community-ucc.org. Taylor.
Yes.
What is your favorite non-musical thing?
Can I pick two?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I mean, really, me and my wife have a little girl. She's a little over 1 year old, so that's pretty much what I'm doing most of the time if I'm not at work. So really just hanging out with them is kind of my favorite thing to do. And I'd say my second favorite, which I haven't done for a while, I just can't find the time, but just like going camping, hiking, just being out in the woods. And
well, hopefully when your daughter gets older, you could
Yeah.
You can all go camping.
Yeah.
Right? So that's kind of the plan? Or?
That's my plan, yeah.
Excellent. So do you have a favorite, like, camping spot?
I'd say my favorite would probably be down at Garden of the Gods in Southern Illinois.
That's in Shawnee, correct?
Yep. Yeah, in the Shawnee. So.
Excellent. I have never been, but I probably should. It does look amazing.
It is, yeah.
So you're the tent camping type?
Yeah. I've never even done like campers or anything like that. It's always been tent or maybe like just a tarp. I mean, just out in the woods.
And Sarah?
My favorite non-musical thing. Well, I don't know if I consider my animals like a thing, but I love my animals.
Well, yeah, go for it.
Probably my dogs. I don't know. I love my cats and stuff too, but my dogs are so great.
It's a particular breed, correct? Or do I have that wrong?
Yeah, one's a German Shepherd, and then the other one is half German Shepherd, half Great Pyrenees.
Oh my! So you've got some big.
Yeah, they had
dogs.
Babies, and then we have a couple of the babies too, and some of the people around town have the babies too. Like Kenna May has Wayne.
Yeah. At Sven stock, he's just like pull.
Oh
but,
yeah,
man, he's like
he's
I
the big
gotta get with I gotta find my find Kenna.
Where's my mom?
Yeah. But I was very concerned about her playing and not being up on stage with her.
Oh yeah, I think we ended up having to have him on stage.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, it's funny, but he's a good boy. So concerned about what's going on with Kenna. It's just really cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's she was talking about it in her episode 13 that she went on tour with Wayne.
Yeah.
And that the conversations in that car, could you imagine?
I am not lost. He'd probably be whining all the time.
Stop whining, I'm not lost. Yeah. Excellent.
No, he's a good boy though.
Oh yeah.
It makes me so happy to see her taking such good care of him and like him being able to go on those adventures. So cool.
You live in kind of a rural area, like a farm, right? And it's not just dogs. You have many animals.
Just my husband has some goats.
Some goats.
Yeah.
I thought you had chickens.
We have one chicken.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you have.
They're a little gang out there. They hang out. There's 3 goats and a chicken. Yep. Oh yeah, they're friends.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Huh. So was that kind of the plan to have a nice big?
That's okay. My husband likes the outdoor animals he likes farming and growing organically, and so he likes the compost, and they also mow our lawn, the goats.
Right.
So
I could probably. Well, everybody always says, "Well, don't you have goats?" Do you have any other favorite non-musical things? Since Taylor had 2, I figure you have 2.
I don't know. Coffee? I love coffee. Well, I don't know, because kombucha I also really like. I don't know.
Do you make your own kombucha ever?
I've tried it. My SCOBY passed away, though, so I gotta get a new one. But I never thought mine were as bubbly as the ones. Maybe my formula wasn't right or something. I have to keep trying. But I never thought they were as bubbly as the store-bought ones, and I really like that carbonation.
Could it be that they are able to keep it from escaping more, or because I'm not sure of the full process, but if you're not able to seal it, maybe all the carbonation escapes or something like that. So.
I don't know. I've tried it a couple times. I think I just need to keep trying it and figure different things out. It probably has to do with like the amount of sugar and stuff you feed so that it can produce that carbonation.
Right, but you don't want it to explode.
Yeah, I don't.
From what I understand.
You don't want it to explode. So I have a lot to learn about that. I'm nowhere.
You know Tim McGee, though, right?
Yeah, so I need to talk to him about.
He probably can loan you some SCOBY, I'm sure. Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, that was his favorite non-musical thing. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Episode 10.
I'll check that out.
Taylor and Sarah, thank you so much for talking about and recording your song Painted Trains, and I'm looking forward to hearing some of the work that you're going to be doing, performing live, and you said you're going to be recording an EP, and I'm sure I'll share that on the social medias as it comes about. I'm assuming you probably will you do like a physical copy too, or maybe
just would be kind of nice, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know yet.
Yeah.
It seems like maybe it's either like digital or like vinyl. People are kind of skipping CDs these days, I feel like.
I always wanted to do vinyl pressing,
vinyl
but that's
cool. But that's
pretty pricey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, and it's not too bad if you can guarantee that there'll be 200 people that are happy to buy your vinyl.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening to Champagne is Also a Band podcast. This is Taylor.
This is Sarah.
This is Maps of the Midwest, reminding you great music is out there. Go find it where you live.
This is Sarah.
This is Taylor.
Reminding you,
great music is out there.
Go find it.
Find out where you live.
Where you live. Okay, so we gotta work on this.
Yeah.
You almost have an NPR voice. It's so good.
Studio South Peter on the inside.